Welcome to PlayStation Corner, my name is Alex and today we're taking a look at my favourite PSN deals, and here I cover the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. This one, it's a massive sale, and today's video it packs everything from indie to AAA to those with support of VR2. A good chunk of these as well, they're coming in under $10. Let's get started. If you enjoy this video today, consider subscribing, it helps the channel a huge amount. We have deals and reviews weekly, and come at the end of the month we'll be covering VR2 content as well. Also, we do have a $10 PSN gift card to give away. The winner that'll be announced in next Sunday's video, and to enter, all you need to do is drop a comment down below. There's no winner to announce today this week though, as we are falling into the schedule now of 2 deals videos a week. Do know then as well, we have a video live on this sale already with a huge chunk of AAAs, find that in the pinned comment below. Severed Steel is a fast-paced first-person shooter. It reminds me of Ghost Runner, though a whole lot more forgiving when it comes to damage taken. This game, it's all about shorter levels that have you basically John Wicking your way through them with a combination of gunplay and parkour. I played this originally on the Switch, but the hardware just didn't do it justice. On the PlayStation, however, it is a different beast. It feels great, it looks incredible, and the loop of overcoming these levels as quickly as possible, it is incredibly addictive. It's a new low price then, 40% off, and it also just got a free update as well. It's called Rogue Steel. It's huge, new weapons, a new mode which packs roguelite elements, new skins, and even motion controls for the PlayStation builds. My friend Pedro comes from the masters over at Devolver Digital, and this one's a self-described bullet ballet, and I must agree. Think platforming, slow motion, dual wielding weapons and a slew of enemies to take on. Now at first the controls they do feel a little awkward, nothing else quite like them, but stick with it and before you know it you will be a master. It's essentially think a side-scrolling spin on twin-stick shooting. The story then is out there, it's touching on themes of friendship, but the main character directing what you do happens to be a sentient banana. Devolver though, they always deliver quality, this is no different, and it's a new low price of 65% off. Sonic Frontiers was a surprise hit for me. It's 30% off, matching the low, and while opinions have been mixed, I was impressed. An open world adventure, it captures the speed we do expect from Sonic in this kind of real world environment, but it doesn't forget where it came from, with levels built in that do resemble locations from past games. These are essentially short burst challenges that we must navigate. The highlight for me though, huge bosses that tower over you, and they get really creative with how we take them on. A personal favourite was one that generated a high-speed path behind them as they flew above this world. Along the way, they're throwing all sorts at you. It does suffer from popping no matter the platform you buy the game on, but I can't deny the fun I had with it. Shadow of the Colossus, it's 50% off. We did see this cheaper years ago now, but this game is easily worth full price. The reason I mention it here though is because Sonic Frontiers almost gave me an air of it with its boss encounters that you need to overcome. This one's definitely a slower burn though. You explore a world that's mostly empty except for the bosses that you must take down. These things though are screen filling, it's still impressive to this day, and this rebuild absolutely did the game justice. The story then, we are looking to revive a young girl. At what cost though is the big question, as we do explore on foot and horseback. Looks great, sounds incredible as well, and even if you don't buy the game, definitely check out the soundtrack. Salt and Sacrifice was a more recent release. It's 50% off, a new low, and I was psyched for this game. It's a follow-up to the incredible Salt and Sanctuary. Gonna say it up front here though, it fails to live up to that quality. If anything, this one just goes a little too over the top with mechanics, while rarely delivering something that feels as special in any moments. I had fun still, do not get me wrong, but I was really kind of ready for something to blow me away, and that is not what I was kind of given. It's got this new almost think Monster Hunter spin in its world though 2D, and it's just not all that engaging. I'd still consider it if you were a fan of the first game, just to temper those expectations for this action RPG. Still looks stunning though with the cartoon visuals, and yeah, you can also see at the same time though where they could have easily made some cuts. Need for Speed Palace Edition is 50% off, a new low price. This is a deluxe edition, but it is cheaper than the base game has ever been, and it packs in additional cosmetics and cars, so it's not all bad, it's some content as well, or at least rides. I had a lot more fun with this than I expected. A street racing open world that provides you a narrative to follow along to, or simple activities should you basically want to race. For many, the new anime characters in a real world wasn't for them, but I actually quite like them. And then the visual effects, like when you jump and spray paint appears, that can be turned off in the options. The story then, incredibly dumb, a couple of orphans trying to find their way, I guess, in this world. It definitely had its moments, probably funny when it shouldn't be. It's probably though a story written while watching Fast and Furious and probably using crayons. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is a quick mention, but a cheap alternative for those that want something a little more traditional. Open world still, tons of police chases and so on, but it's 90% off, matching the low, so it's going to be a good one for those that just want to pick up and play occasionally without the bank account damage. Big fan of this one though, this particular entry, and I suspect over the years I'll probably be getting more playtime from this entry. Spiritfarer is a personal favourite, then it's here with 75% off, a new low price, an adventure experience that puts you in the role of the new ferrymaster. You're the individual that transports the recently deceased to the afterlife. During this time though, we must first make them comfortable, build them a home on this ship, and give them activities which they love to do. Along the way, we'll be exploring the islands, completing, these mini-games almost, and of course, meeting the other locals. It's an incredibly touching game, which I didn't expect, but the team behind this, they made a cast that is so likable that you often don't want to say goodbye to them. Another one as well here where the presentation is just simply stunning. That's not just the cartoon visuals either, the soundtrack on top of it is beautiful. SOMA has been cheaper, but it's still a massive discount, 85% off, and for me, this is an often overlooked hidden gem. We've had a few horror and thriller themed sci-fi experiences recently, and this will be a good option for those that like a first person spin on their kind of adventure. Placing you though in an underwater facility, we find ourselves in a dangerous situation. It is empty, the AI has started to take over, and they are definitely on an attack mode. We must attempt to evade and survive while trying to save the station in the process. No combat, it's either use the environment against them or run, and I just thought this was good stuff. I'm not personally good with horror either. This isn't a game of jump scares, rather a sense of dread and tension pretty much constantly. My pickups of the week then, meaning not a recommendation, rather maybe you'll want to join me for the ride, and I'm grabbing two this week. First is a pre-order, Kayak VR, for the upcoming VR2 release date. It's got 15% off. Honestly, this game was already a little cheaper than I anticipated, and I just love the look of it. It can be relaxed exploration or even racing, but the visuals, they look stunning, and I'm hoping this will be a demo piece for the system. You can expect a review right here on the channel right around launch. Gran Turismo 7 then is my second pickup, and honestly, same reason. I didn't jump on this at release, the reviews felt lukewarm if anything, and there was a slew of complaints around grinding, and I believe a whole host of microtransactions. Seems though there's a way to generate in-game cash quickly, so I'm jumping in now to get the unlocks done before the VR2 release and that patch drops. My ideal racer for the headset, that would be F1, but this will absolutely do for the time being. If you just want the PS4 build as well, do take $10 off the above price. It's also worth calling out then finally, I've not actually paid for this yet, so I am considering the Anniversary Deluxe Edition. It is quite a bit more cash-wise, but it's packing in a ton of extra cars. TMNT, the Cowabunga collection, is back with 25% off, matching the low price. I'm not sure this needs much of an explanation. It is a collection of classic TMNT experiences, from 1v1 fighters to the side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and those are some of the best ever made. 13 games in all. It's everything from handheld releases to console to arcade. 4 of the games as well feature online play, which is a great addition that I did not expect. Alongside that, expect button mapping, some history, and also alternate Japanese variants. These classic collections, they are always good as well, thanks to the addition of save states and the ability to rewind. Carrion is another release from Devolver Digital. This one's a horror spin on Metroidvania, except it's reversed, meaning you're not trying to survive, you are the monster killing everyone. Definitely a unique game. This is one I really did enjoy though. You're basically a tentacle beast that grows with progression, and the controls, they feel fantastic, and you're incredibly fast as well. Along the way, you'll learn to control humans and use them against each other, which is a huge amount of fun. And on top of all of that, I just love the pixel work as well. The story is minimal, but basically escape from whatever this lab is, and my only complaint, the lack of the map. it led to me basically being lost at the end game. It is a new low price, 60% off, and I did mention horror, so I will point out here, it is definitely not a scary one. Blacktail is a recent release. It's a new low price here, 25% off, and this one's a first-person action RPG. It's the origin story of Baba Yaga. Will you be a guardian though, or a nightmare with its combination of exploration, magic, and archery-based combat? I just really like the world and the story, a dark spin on fairy tales. It's something that always appeals. Absolutely looks as well visually, I'll put it out there, indie, but it still impresses, especially with some of the creative locations and bosses. Even if I will say at this point the world does feel on the small side. The archery is good fun though, and I really like the morality system that's influenced by the decisions you make and actions you take. It does take a little while to get going as a warning before it will eventually hook you. I did a preview on Xbox Corner. If you do want to see that, I've linked it below. Batman Arkham Collection is easily one of my favourite deals in this massive sale. It's a new low and 90% off, and few games can match or give you just as much quality for such a smaller price. Gotham Knights tried to recapture this magic, and while I still honestly enjoyed that one, many didn't, and I absolutely get it. This bundle brings together Arkham Asylum, City and Night alongside all post-launch DLC content. These games are just groundbreaking, from the more linear design of Asylum to the open worlds that followed. It is the combat though that is so good. It's just so heavy and fast, and it's influenced so many games since. The first will always be my personal favourite, but I don't think you can go wrong with any, especially just the cast in here. It's by far one of the very best video games based on superheroes that has ever been made. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week, or are you holding onto that cash? Let me know in the comments down below. Still a lot more to come as well from this sale, so do expect to see more on the channel later this week. With that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals weekly, and we'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.